Welcome to the first episode of Black and White Gaming's Game Club. That's right, the BWG Game Club. Here we are. It's me, Peter, with John and Devon. I did not do our nicknames as well. I'm the Super Game Geek. We've got Johnny Bagoda Nuts.
Hey, how's it going?
And DC Man 054 / the Colbert 12 / the real Kratos.
The real Kratos.
Slash, you're not your average black guy. Yeah, there it is. Here.
So the BWG Game Club, what it is, it's our new podcast / adventure through video games. Basically, we're going to be playing video games parts at a time, and then we're going to hold a discussion every week talking about the parts that we played. So we're all going to play up to the same part, and then we're going to gather our thoughts. We're going to have this discussion, and then we're going to play to the next part. And basically, we're going to do that to the end of the game, giving our thoughts, asking each other what the other person experienced, asking each other, what they thought of, whether it's the story or the graphics or the controls, basically everything about the game, talking about the game, learning about our views on the game as well. And this is a way to just play new games together, even though they may be single player.
Can I interrupt real quick?
What's going on, Devon?
Are we live right now?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're recording.
I just said we're recording.
Oh, okay, good. I thought we were live. I had Twitch up and everything. Hey, to all those that are watching or listening to this, what's good?
Well,
Classic me. Over my head. I had Twitch up and everything. All right, keep going. Keep going, baby.
Pete, the stream's not going up.
Dude, I'm in refreshed over here. I'm like, yo, F5, what's happening?
Oh,
right, go
God.
ahead. Classic me.
So I want to let you, the viewer, know that you will be able to watch this on YouTube. You'll be able to listen to it on SoundCloud, Spotify, basically wherever you listen to a podcast, you're going to be able to listen to it as well. We want this to go out. You'll also be able to join our Discord, and we're going to give you more of that information as we go through. But you'll be able to join in. We're going to let you guys know what part we're playing to. So if you guys want to join us, feel free.
Play along.
You can play along, and in the Discord, we can all talk about it. You can submit your questions, and we will bring those questions up in our episodes. So, let's get down to the first game. Let's talk about what our first game is in the BWG Game Club, and that is Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Woo!
All right. Right? We've got a big Hideo Kojima game coming out toward the end of the year. So why not go back to the remake of his first one? So his first big one. I figured that would be a great thing, and that's Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, because Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes is a remake that was released in March 2004 for the Nintendo GameCube, developed by Silicon Knights. And it is a remake of the original game, which was launched in 1998 for PlayStation.
Oh, damn, 21 years ago! What's up?
So, let's begin our discussion, because we all played to a certain part, and the part that we played to was we had to complete the Revolver Ocelot boss fight. So that's the part that we played to in the game. So we're going to start from the beginning, from the very opening cutscene before you even start the game, to just after the Revolver Ocelot boss fight. So, let's begin. Guys, it starts off all mysterious-like. Snake is in a sub, and he gets launched out of the sub, and he has to infiltrate a base, and you're not exactly sure what's going on.
Can I just ask, what kind of fucking delivery system is shooting someone in a goddamn missile into, like, waters with these, like, fucking laser beams that are just, like...
into a cavern.
I was like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 90s gaming at its best right there. That's what it is.
So, Solid Snake our lead protagonist. Guys, let's talk about Solid Snake, our lead protagonist. All right?
Mhm.
So, what do you guys think about him so far? Let's do that. Yeah,
I definitely think he's a badass. Not gonna lie, he really is. He not only is he a badass, dude is suave, right? He's smooth. He's a slick talker, right?
I don't know about slick, dude. He's just fucking blunt as a goddamn baseball.
That's true. That's true. That's true. You're not wrong. I really enjoy him. I really enjoy the voice acting for him as well.
David
I enjoy
Hayter.
everything about him.
David Hayter.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what we know is Solid Snake gets launched out. Snake has to infiltrate Shadow Moses because there's threat of a nuclear launch. They're being led by another character named Liquid Snake. As cliche as that may sound, Solid Snake versus Liquid Snake. But
The title, weird.
so, as we can see here, if you're watching the video, this is where he gets launched and he's learning about the mission. You're learning about the characters that are over there, such as Sniper Wolf and Psycho Mantis and all these crazy names. Decoy Octopus and Revolver Ocelot, Vulcan Raven. You're learning about all these things. All these names are being thrown at you as Solid Snake is being thrown in there. And then I want to fast forward over to the first actual gameplay segment.
Oh,
So-
God.
I'm going to let you guys know that there's 4 difficulty modes in this game. There's very easy, normal, hard. Guys, which difficulty did you play on?
Normal.
Normal.
I started on normal and switched to easy, so I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Bitchin' out.
Which which radar did you guys use?
The second one, type 2, where it's not an intrusion.
That's right. I got that Beatus. I went type 2 as well.
Boom. I went type 1 because I was like, forget it, I don't care.
He's just breezing through this game like, fuck the cutscenes, fuck the radar, fuck the difficulty.
So the first gameplay segment is after he infiltrates through the basically almost like the sewage area, I would say. You encounter your first run-in with the enemy down there, the genome soldiers, and basically these guys are out to get you. I mean, these guys can hear every single little thing. All you need to do in this segment is get to the elevator.
And boy, what a tough time I had with it, dude. Let me tell you what, dude.
Now,
This-
Devon, tell me, like, why was it
Listen,
tough? Why was it tough?
Listen, okay, so I'm not used to playing games like this, right? Stealthy, all this stuff. I'm a bro shooter guy, okay? I'm like, I gotta go in. Maybe I can kill these dudes. I got a gun. Nope.
No gun. That's right. You start off with no gun.
I had my fists. That was it. I died probably 10 times on it before finally figuring out, oh, I got to do this way. And I finally did it, and I was like, not too happy about that. I got to play the game I got to play it the way it wants me to. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was so stressful. The thing that's behind Snake right now, that was my favorite. Like, that's where I hung out the most.
The air vent thing type canister that you could hide underneath. Yeah, I spent a good little bit of time down underneath there as well.
Gosh.
John, how did you feel about this segment?
Well, it had me feeling a couple different ways. Because first off, I played this game like back when it came out. I was a little kid.
The original version.
The original version. And I really liked it. And like, so obviously being a kid and not being the greatest with the dexterity and whatnot, I died a lot then. But so like this scene in particular, just like seeing him coming out of the water and like just this room in general just brings back a lot of memories, which is cool. Immediately just mad as far as like trying to play the game because I was like, was it this hard when I played it before? Like, I just feel like there was things that I could have done beforehand that I couldn't do in this, and I thought it was just like my setup was wrong. Like I was like, can't you like crouch walk? Nope. Like can't you like walk where like people can't hear you? very hard to do. Just like it was so difficult. I was like, I don't remember it being this hard, but I was very happy to start playing it then.
There's just no restart button either. You can't just restart.
Oh my God! Yes, thank you.
I would just stand there like this.
So frustrating. So like, I definitely encountered a couple frustrations with this segment. I knew that there was no crouch run because I remember playing it. I actually played it on played the PlayStation version not too long ago. It was like a few years back. I remember trying to play through all the Metal Gear Solids before I eventually gave up halfway through 3. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Metal Gear Solid has never been my forte.
Yeah.
I tried. I was like, a lot of people love this game, and I respect them. I know it's well developed, but I tried to force myself, and I made it through the first 2 games, and I made it like halfway into the third, and halfway into the third, I was like, it's not for me. It's just not for me. So I didn't know that there was no start button in this. I didn't know that there was no way to like just quit to the main menu. Like you don't have that option.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, you get caught, and I instantly want to just restart and be like, all right, let me start over. But you can't. You can't do that. You just have to start over again. Like, you just have to let yourself die, and you don't just get to die right away. You have to sit there and wait, and they shoot at you over and over and over again. Your health goes down.
I will say, the checkpoint system is fairly forgiving.
Yeah.
Like, if you die, it's not like you go super far back. At least not right now.
Nope.
You pretty much go right to before. At least for me, it was right before where I died, and I was like, all right, that's not bad. It's not like it's super punishing where it's like, now I have to do this whole section over or whatever, anything like that. It's fairly forgiving in that sense.
Yeah. Right. I did have another frustration with this part besides there not being a start button. That was the cutscene got me caught, and that was like the first reason I died. The cutscene got me caught because I was easily dodging the guards. The cutscene happened, and when the cutscene, and I'm not moving obviously because there's a cutscene going on. When the cutscene came back up, the guard was already on me and shooting at me, and I was like,
"Come on!" They can move while the cutscene's on. Yep.
Enemy sighted. Backup unit.
It is funny that like it's games like this that like I would say this game's pretty beloved by a lot of people.
Yes.
It's games like this where you go back and you play them and you realize that it suffers from a lot of problems at the time that you didn't even know were problems until companies and people and developed better games and iterations of this kind of gameplay. It's like to me it's the first one I can think of that's like a action stealth game, so it's like it's pretty hard to go around not like they're basically making the game itself, right? It's like making the genre, and it's tough. And again, at the time it's new and it's awesome, and it's like, oh, the story is cool even though it's a little quirky. It'll get weirder later, but it was fine when playing it first, and now you're like, oh, it's aged not so gracefully. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, I think that's what it is. It's like I've played stealth games now, and I've been spoiled by stealth games now because of the options you have and because of the game mechanics
Control.
that you can utilize now. The control that you have over a game character now, it changes the scope. So it's definitely a treat, I'll say, to go back to where it all began.
Yeah.
So you make it into the elevator, and you realize that was only the intro sequence of the game.
Yep. Good.
And they give you the title as Snake takes off his diving outfit. You find out that he could survive the cold because of the suit and because he was shot with some weird stuff that warms his blood. Nanomachines. And so have all the other Genome soldiers that are roaming the island. I did want to say about the codec that it's interesting that they use the classic like pictures as opposed to like if you look at Metal Gear Solid 2, it has the actual character faces, like the actual character models, and they're actually talking.
Right.
Oh.
But in this one, even though the design is modeled almost like after
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 2, this one has it still kept the classic photos of them.
I prefer this.
Same.
Photos.
I like this.
See,
Yeah,
I
it's
liked
cool.
like
I
this.
liked it the other way. I liked seeing them actually talking and whatnot. But you make it up to the helipad, and now you learn that you have to get to the other side of the helipad. Liquid Snake hops in a helicopter and flies away. You have to get to the other side of the helipad, and you have to use one of the vents. There's 2 vents. There's one on the second floor, one on the first floor. You have to choose how you want to get there. Guys, how did this section work out for you?
So easy. I literally breezed right by it, dude. I literally breezed right by it, made it into the vent, did all my stuff, right?
Which vent? Which vent?
I went top.
Okay.
You went top, huh?
I went
Nice.
top. I think my favorite part about this is his conversation with Mei Ling. Literally, the flirting.
The flirting?
Like,
You mean the sexual harassment?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
It's
but
pretty blatant.
she was there for it, so like it's flirting.
It's a different time, you know.
It's a different time.
It's a different
You don't
time.
really sexually
This is
harass
back
them.
in like 1998, you know? These things were
If this
allowed.
shit happened today, this
Yeah.
game would have never made it out. It never
Yeah.
would have made it.
It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
What's this? I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake? But I'm surprised. I didn't think you'd be so frank.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
It does, doesn't it?
He would have squeezed her tip in his real life. And she'd be like, oh, Snake!
Oh, God.
I was trying to be daring and went through the right through the fucking helipad right first, try to get that middle whatever thing was floating around, and I ran right through and right into a guy at the other side. So then I was like, all right, that's not gonna work. And it took a little maneuvering, but I ended up going top as well for the event.
When I first started this section, I ran out onto the helipad, not even knowing like the lights were like, boom, like
Yeah.
if you walk into the light, you're spotted. So
You
I
were
like
just flopping around in the fucking
instantly
floor.
like walked right out there, got caught, ran back, started getting shot at, and I just laid there and let them kill me because I
Yeah.
couldn't press pause and
Takes
restart the
forever,
game.
dude.
Yeah.
So annoying. It takes
So-
forever.
I did go bottom vent, and I did have one part in this that really annoyed me. And that's I was running this way in the snow. I was running through the snow past the boxes, and when I walked forward, it did a little cutscene showing me the camera. Well, guess what? I got caught right there when I looked at the camera when the cutscene happened, and so
Yeah.
the guy came over and then started following the footprints in the snow, and that was pretty much the end of that run. Another time.
That's when you can use it against them and have them follow it right to a certain spot and then jump out and get them.
Oh no, he's
That's-
following me.
So I was still learning the controls like through this entire time because
Yeah,
like I
I
did
know.
not know what the controls were, and it wasn't until like the end of my play session that I have like a complete grasp on how the controls worked. There was another time with the cutscene, the camera cutscene, where my guy went out just a little bit, and I didn't get caught. I pulled Snake back, and then I was hiding behind the box, and there was one footprint. There's one footprint outside of the box area, and the
Yeah.
guy saw the footprint and started searching. And I was like, come on. Because the cutscene, like, forced my character, like, out in that area. Like, that's how I'm going to get caught.
Yep.
So, again, frustrating part. I ended up going through the bottom vent, and I will show you exactly how the bottom vent worked.
The thing that I was impressed with is like the enemy AI, as annoying as it can be, it was like fairly like hardcore, different than what you'd find today. I feel like it's like you know, if a guy saw you and he like picked up his radio and he like went to talk but didn't, and you like flipped him or like knocked him out, like the guards would still be like, something happened. Like they would check it out. It wasn't like full blown alert, but they would, you know, try to see what happened. Right. And that's what ended up happening. Like in this area, I was around a box and a guy was about to radio. I ended up choking him, breaking his neck, and the guys were coming. I had to like pick up his body and like scare him back. And then they're like, "Oh, I don't know where he went." And they're like, "All right, get back to your post." And I was like, "Ah, that's cool. Like that was that was cool. I like that."
I did. That's a good one. That's a good one. This is exactly how it happened because I didn't know how to choke someone out, John.
You snuck around him. He fell asleep.
Yep. So I was just like,
"Oh,
get it."
And we're going.
And I crawled in. And I crawled.
How do you flip someone?
So if you go up to him and press A and you're moving the analog stick, you will flip the person.
The top vent was so easy. So easy. You literally get past the guard walks by, you go past, you get past.
I love that the rats have the fucking exclamation points.
And when you go up top, there's a guard that's walking, right? And there's little slit ways that you can hide in. So you literally just back up against the wall like this. And then he just walks by.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. And then I found the vent, crawled right in.
Nice. Nice.
Now, I see that you have a weapon, Peter.
Yeah, I have a weapon.
Now, let me tell you my terrible story.
Okay.
I messaged you guys saying, how do you equip weapons? Right? And you guys are like, oh, well, I have it paired to the triggers. You just hold it, and then you just go down. Well, see, I'm playing with my lovely Xbox controller here, and I had the trigger stops on. So it wasn't fully going down. It was going halfway, and finally, I was like, maybe if I change my trigger stop. As soon as I did it, I had all this shit in my inventory, and I was like, oh, this game is great.
Devon unlocks an achievement where it's like no guns used. You're just choking people out the whole time. This room is where I started to feel very comfortable with the controls. Like,
I'm
coming back to me.
Still not feeling totally comfortable. So so the next area after you make it through, you make it into the vent, whether it's top or bottom. You're in the hangar. Yeah. And your mission is to get to the elevator to ride the elevator down to the to basement 1. Mm-hmm. Now there's different things that you can do. You can go upstairs, but upstairs there's 2 different cameras up there.
Yeah.
There's also very noisy catwalks. And one thing that you learn right away in this game is if you walk on something loud, they will hear it. The enemy will hear it, and they will search. Like
the
in
super
that
soldiers, man.
Yeah,
happened to me too many times.
So, the moment you start to run, if your footsteps make even the slightest noise, you will be heard, and they will search for you. So this area actually had quite a bit of stuff in it. Both times you go into here. So the first time that you could go into here, you can find thermal goggles, but you have to go upstairs and sneak into one of the rooms to get that.
Yep.
But the mission of it is to get into the elevator. Did you guys go straight for the elevator?
Nope.
No, I took the guys out. I hid it under the tanks, and then I took them out.
Can I hide under the tanks? Sick, dude. So like I said, I took the top vent, so I was at the top.
Yeah,
I learned very quickly about the catwalk. Very quickly. You get something called chaff, right? Which knocks out cameras.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, when I figured out my trigger stops, I got the cameras. So after that, after I figured out the trigger stops, dude, honestly, when I was playing and I would look down, I did it, and it worked. I was like, they're gonna laugh so hard.
That's so amazing,
dude. I was so mad about it. So mad about it. Couldn't even believe it.
I went straight for the elevator. I didn't even bother taking out those guys. I was like, I'm not gonna worry about that.
Peter,
went straight
why are you
to the
actually
elevator.
tuning?
And so we make it down to basement 1, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to find this guy. We're trying to find the DARPA chief, because he has the knowledge of whether or not they can launch the nuclear. They can launch a nuclear missile. Mm-hmm. So you have to walk around. You have to climb into a vent, and as you're climbing into the vent, you come across the first cell, and the classic Japanese question pops up, because this game has classic Japanese dialogue in it. He looks down and goes,
"A woman? Not him."
Like, yes, obviously, Snake, that's not the person you're looking for. Thank you for saying that.
You mean the older black gentleman that you're looking for is not the young white female.
Oh, but you climb over to the next cell. You drop down, and the DARPA chief is here, and the DARPA chief has tons of information for you. The DARPA chief basically lets you know that he lost the Donald Anderson is his name. Anderson does tell you that the terrorists have the ability to launch the nuclear strike thanks to Metal Gear Rex. They also have his code because they need two codes to detonate it. They need one from the DARPA chief and they need one from the president.
So I have a question right here.
Thank God.
They go into Metal Gear as if it's something that's been stated. This is a sequel to the Super Nintendo game?
Yes. This is a sequel to those, to the classic games, Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2.
Right. So you're supposed to already have an idea somewhat of what Metal Gear is.
Which is great because I had no idea what Metal Gear is, right?
Yeah.
Or
I never played those games until later.
So this is really my first inkling of Metal Gear, right? My dad used to play it. I played maybe 10 minutes of Metal Gear 5, Phantom Pain. But this, as far as I got into this, that's why the story is so interesting to me, because I'm like, when they showed Metal Gear, I'm like, it's a robot?
I'd say it's probably the least crazy one.
And I'm like,
well, they made this one crazy in the remake. Well, we'll get to that. We will definitely get to that.
And it's it's cool to for me playing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Feeling some type of way about it.
That's the thing too, is that I've played this game and I completely forget a lot of shit in it.
There are 2 codes needed to launch the nuclear strike. They need one from the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, and they need one from President Kenneth Baker. So you find out Anderson has already given the code over because of Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, there you go.
And they also have access to Metal Gear Rex.
Yes.
And during the conversation, it sounds like a guard can hear what's going on. So the guard comes over. And I need to talk about this part because the remake makes this ridiculous.
Fucking his Spider-Man moment.
So the guard comes over, looks through the slot in the door, and just sees Anderson, even though Snake was just standing in the doorway. Anderson is gives him a look I'm not talking to anybody. And then Anderson looks to his left and he looks up and he sees Snake in the corner of the room, hanging on the wall. Yeah, like Spider-Man. And it was dude, why didn't you just take a step to your right and hide out of view? You did not have to go through all that.
Or duck down.
Exactly.
Because I literally thought of that when that part happened. I was like, what are you doing up there?
I thought he was just gonna be rise up at the end, and then it was just huh? And it's in the fucking car. I was like, what? That's so stupid. Oh, it was hilarious. Maybe laugh.
Fast forward to the conversation, and you learn some more about Psycho Mantis and that he has psychic powers. And then
yes, Devon.
Go ahead, Devon.
So he tells you that you need 3 key cards to. It's like a shutdown for Metal Gear Rex, and you need those 3 key cards to shut down Metal Gear Rex if they have the passwords. So
it's like an alternate failsafe type of thing.
Correct.
Exactly.
Didn't know if you were gonna glaze over.
I was ready. I was gonna glaze over that. Thank you. So you need the 3. So he tells him that there's 3 key cards, and that you need the 3 key cards to shut down Metal Gear Rex. And you get one of the key cards from the DARPA chief, but something happens at the end of this conversation. Something weird happens, and that is all of a sudden our DARPA chief Donald Anderson has a heart attack.
He has a bowel movement
that goes on for what feels like fucking forever.
I was sitting here like this, why'd they make that look so painful?
Jesus Christ, fucking, my God.
Oh. Yeah, so
He's still
Donald
dying. mind you.
Anderson has
He's been dying this
has a
entire
death
time.
scene.
Still
Oh
dying.
my god. So he has a death scene that just lasts a very long time. And my favorite thing that happens after this, because it's unfortunate that we lose Donald Anderson. Very unfortunate.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Snake just walks over and goes,
Huh. Dead.
and it's like, what did you think he was doing the entire time he was clutching
Dead.
onto you and falling?
Had a problem. Oh, that
Oh,
shit is
God.
so funny.
Yeah, no attempt to help. I know he's
Yeah.
like this like fucking super soldier type person. Like you think he'd be trained in some sort of like field medics or something like that. Just basic general stuff. No.
Not at all. You find out that your colonel is kind of hiding something from you, but not even like that he's hiding something. It's that he says he doesn't even have the clearance to know about it.
Right.
So you get the sense that there's more to the picture here. There's a bigger story. There's a conspiracy. Leave the cell, and then you are confronted by the woman because she escaped and she beat up the dude and took his clothes off in the manner that it took you to walk out the door.
Also, weirdest positioning
To leave
of
the
a-
person
of a
in.
body.
It was like ass up,
Yeah.
ass up.
I just want to say
Keeping.
that part when the door opened, I literally stood against the door like this, thinking that it was like a bad guy, and I was waiting for it to move. I stood there for like a good 5 minutes. I was like, "Yo, what is happening?" And then I finally walked out, and then
This
happened.
part was cool. I like this
This
part.
part was really cool.
Yeah,
Totally
they basically Snake and the woman have this weird gun dance, and then they get ambushed. Snake basically before they get ambushed. Snake calls her out for being a rookie. That's why she won't. That's why she won't shoot him because he says that her hands are shaking.
Doesn't he have the safety off?
Oh, and then all
Gaping
the...
asshole right in the back.
I know.
Just like,
I know that is funny because like while this conversation is happening, the naked body is just in the back,
it's like it's hard to take this game seriously sometimes.
and it's like a censored butt, like it's not even like
Yeah.
showing it, so it's like just a blurry image like in the background. But then you get ambushed, and then you have to fight, and then you have to shoot all the guys. Guys, what do you think of this part?
It's a very cool part. I did not do it in the first person mode that you're doing it in. I did it in the third person mode, like shooting.
I did first person.
And
There's
I also
oh god, good.
I also fought a couple of them,
Ah.
just hand to hand.
It was less dramatic than I remember it being.
It was
Like,
way
'cause-
less
'cause
dramatic.
It's like, da 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 da. It's like, it didn't feel very video gamey. It was kind of just like
It was almost like you're at the carnival shooting ducks.
Yes,
Like, and they
yeah.
just like, or like like the target practice in other video games,
Yes.
like where like
Yep.
the 3 targets pop up and you just have to shoot them.
yeah. As good as the AI is in this, they were just sitting ducks there, just fucking doing nothing. Oh,
I'm
there we go.
going
Hey.
to be I'm
How
going
are
to be
you?
honest with you guys. I didn't realize that it's the number on the left that's your ammo count, and that the number on the right is like the total amount of ammo you can have.
Yeah.
So for a
Yeah.
while, I was like, I don't understand how to reload my damn gun,
Mm.
even though your gun
Awful.
reloads automatically once it's empty,
Yeah.
if you have ammo. So you take out the bad guys,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, the lady
Booty
takes
shot.
off, and you run after her, and guess who shows up? Who wants to take it?
Psycho Mantis.
You get like a weird cutscene, like a weird vision that it was them who somehow killed the DARPA chief.
Uh-huh.
But you don't know how because like his body is like there in front of them, but
Right.
you were just talking to him. So
Right.
that's like the mysterious part about it. But you see Liquid Snake, you see Psycho Mantis, and you see Revolver Ocelot. Weird things
Okay.
happen as it looks like Psycho Mantis is controlling the woman.
The
And she
Matrix,
starts
baby.
shooting at you, and here we go with like the first true like Matrix action cutscene.
Yeah.
Guys, what did you think of this cutscene?
It was dope.
I was just like, all right, they did Spider-Man, now they're doing fucking Matrix. Like, what are we gonna be hitting on, on next?
It was dope. That happened, and I was like, yo, that's crazy.
It's like so much dramatic slow motion,
Oh yeah.
and like camera angle changes to show everything, and it just gets it gets a little bizarre. I'm not gonna lie, especially because the original game's cutscenes weren't like that. However, I do want to say, because I did read on some forums and whatnot, because I always look to other people's opinions. I'm interested in other people's opinions on the game, and there were people who said like they didn't like this remake as much as the original game, but because of the over-the-top cutscenes, like that was one of the reasons. And I thought about it, and I said, yeah, they are over the top. However, let's be honest. If Kojima had this technology back in 1998, these would be the cutscenes we'd see. Like, they would be like these Matrix-style cutscenes.
Right.
Also, like, this came out, like, what year did The Matrix come out?
99?
99? 99? So this was 2004. Let's be honest. Everybody was still high off The Matrix at that time.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean,
the third Matrix hasn't come out yet to ruin everything.
The woman escapes. You hop back on the elevator, and you gotta basically you gotta find Kenneth Baker. After this, I will say I went up to the hangar and used the key card that I accessed, because you have a key card that now just opens doors automatically. Went into the room on the right, and I was able to obtain the silencer for your gun.
Yeah, I should have gotten that.
I should have gotten that too.
You can also get if you go to the second floor with your brand new key card, if you go up to the second floor into this door on the left, you can get the cardboard box.
I was looking for that shit.
Yep.
God damn it.
Cardboard box. I have not used the cardboard box. Have you guys used the cardboard box?
I have not.
I didn't get it. I wish I did, because I love the cardboard box. It's the best thing.
I plan to use it next time I play. But,
I'm pretty sure if they find you, they like ship you, don't they, to like a certain like truck or something like that. They put you in like a truck to something. I forget.
I think there's definitely like a way for it.
Yeah, I forget. Maybe it's the second one. I don't know.
That could be it. All right. So after I grabbed the cardboard box, I went down to the armory, and I imagine you guys went down to basement 2 as well, right? Basement 2, the armory. Basically, in here, how did you guys figure this part out?
So I didn't. I went all the way back up from the holding cells all the way up through the tank area, all the way back to the snowy place. I'm like, where the fuck do I need to go? Where am I going?
What?
And then I went.
They tell you, don't they?
Yeah. He tells you. And then I remembered. I'm like, oh wait, he said something about the walls not being the same color, and I'm like, oh good. Now I gotta make my way all the way back down. So I did. And then I
thought that was fairly obvious, but
no, because I was like,
I wanted to know if anybody missed that and had to go.
What's up? That's me. Also, they try to hit you with some pretty traps here.
Yeah, what the fuck is
some
trapdoors?
I didn't understand the trapdoors. I definitely fell through them once by accident, because like I turned the corner and totally forgot one was there and just fell through, and you instantly die when you fall through. I was like, oh man. Whoop. You use the C4 on the wall to the southwest, and boom, that's your next way to go. And you run on through. There's another wall that you can use the C4 on, and it opens it up for you.
There's another wall further down too.
There is, but you can't open any of the doors. So there's 2 walls. There's one that you got to go through to progress the story, and then there's another wall where if you open it, there's actually some of the best gear in the game, like in the doors over there. But you need like the level 5 key card.
Since we're speaking about that door, that wall that you can blow up, this is where I kind of screwed myself for the next part of the story. I went through that door, immediately got shot at. My health went to 2/3. I had no more rations, so I went straight through the door to progress the story. And that's where I started from there. 2/3 health. Had to go
That's your
through.
save point?
Oh, Damn.
Because if you progress the story, it locks you in that room and you can't go back out. 2/3 of health, man.
Oh,
What a
buddy,
great time,
buddy.
dude.
That's right. If you go through that wall, you have to be prepared because there are 2 turrets, 2 camera turrets in that room that will mess you up.
Oh, dude, it was great. It happened, and I literally stood up, and I was like, great. Great. So excited about this.
Yeah,
So mad.
if you didn't know about them, they were gonna tear you apart. I walked out, got shot once, and ran back in. And I was like, "Oh no, I'm taking you out." So I was able to do that, and then if you blow up the wall to the north in that hallway, not the secret hallway to the right, but the main hallway that you first went into, then you progress the story. You run into a trapped President Kenneth Baker. There are tons of wires around him, and it turns out that he is trapped in C4, and if you touch the wires, he will blow up and die.
Yay.
Probably you along with him.
Yay.
So you find out you can't do that, and then an enemy makes his first appearance in front of Solid Snake, and that is none other than Revolver Ocelot. That's right, we have made it to the Revolver Ocelot fight.
Oh,
Revolver
God.
Ocelot boss fight. We just heard that Devon only had 2/3 health walking into here. No rations.
No rations. It was a fucking struggle, dude. Oh my God.
Oh,
it
this
was
is
so
great.
bad.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of his intro? He instantly shoots at Snake, and instead of Snake just
Backing up.
jumping out of the way or going to the side or ducking down or whatnot, he does a backflip over the bullet.
No, he does the backflip of I've ever seen anyone do. That's like
He's got to show his
the
verticality.
most ridiculous. It's like the thing is too, he had to have flipped before he even shot. That's
Right.
just like the way he clears it.
But at the same time, he doesn't. Like if we go back and
I know.
look at the
He
cutscene,
definitely does it after.
he sees the gun, the shot happens, and then he flips.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So he's the fastest flipper in all.
You're the fastest mother flipper I ever met in my entire life.
Not only that, it's not like a straight.
ups, dude.
I know. It's not like a straight backflip. It's like he like jumps to the side and like is in the air like at a diagonal angle, and it, like when they show the wide angle, he's like 4 feet in the air at least. At least.
The thing I hated the most about this cutscene was when he was like, "My name's Revolver," and he's like, fucking juggling his gun, dude. Like this dude, Ocelot.
It's
Like,
all good and fine up to the part where he just keeps going.
Special Operations Foxhound. Revolver. Ocelot.
It's just like he just does the same move over and over again.
Look, he just keeps going. I wanted him to shoot him.
I will agree with you, Devon. Like, imagine being the other person, just being like,
Dude, that's how I felt.
Wait, what's your name? What?
Dude, I was sitting here. I was sitting here and I was like, yo, they cannot be serious right now with this cutscene, dude, at all.
I definitely got to the point where I was just like, oh my god, this is taking forever with everything.
Oh, yes. Like,
Yeah.
I was definitely starting to feel the wear on the cutscenes, like, because there are a lot of cutscenes, and we will even talk more about that after this boss fight, because after this boss fight, that's where it truly sinks in.
Yeah.
So the boss fight is basically you're fighting around a trapped Kenneth Baker. He's in the center.
Cool idea.
Yeah,
Very
where like you
perfect.
can't run into the center of the room because if you do, you die.
I did it twice.
And I did it once only because there was like ammo that looked like it was like outside. It looked like it was outside, but like when I tried to grab it, I touched the wire apparently and it
Yep.
blew up. And I was like, all right, I guess I can't grab that ammo. But you have to
That's
like
what I
basically run around and chase him, and you have to shoot at him. So,
Kind of changed
John,
it.
how did
Yeah.
how did you do it?
I did it with the first person mode again, where I just would like, just kind of he would start shooting, right, and then I would just run around to where he was and have the lean, and then just be like one or two bullets, whatever I could. He'd be like ah, and then he would go around, and I would just do the same. It was the very end, the very very last shot that I had, where I was like behind a pillar, and that's when I learned to do like the lean, and I just shot him around the corner. I was like, that was easy. I mean, he shot me a bunch of times and it didn't kill me, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like not that hard. So
No, I will agree with that. That this wasn't a hard boss fight unless you had only 2/3 health. With
Hey, what's up,
matches.
dude? The worst boss fight of my entire life.
Devon, how did you do it?
Dude, so check this out. All right, I tried various things because, as you know, I had 2/3 health. Awful, right? Absolutely awful. So one thing I tried, I put some C4 on the ground. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna try this. I put some C4 on the ground. I waited for him to run. I blew it up, blew the whole room up. So we all died. Figured you couldn't do that. All right. I was like, all right. I had to try it. So then I started doing what you were doing, just running around and following him. But he kept like, he would stop and shoot, and the bullet would ricochet and hit me every time. I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So then the part where when you're up here, I just kept running back and forth, and he would stop and shoot. So then I would stop and I'd shoot him, and then I just keep going back and forth, and he would stop and I would stop and shoot, and then he'd go. And I didn't do it first person; I would do it third person. And then sometimes he would start running around, and he would run around, and I would shoot him like diagonal, like
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
One time I caught Kenneth Baker right in the neck and had to restart, but
Oh.
just like bled out.
Well,
But then
they win 'em
eventually,
all.
like I had literally like the orange health where yours is ticking right now, how it ticks. I literally
Yeah.
had that, and he had a little bit of health, and I got him with one shot, and I beat it. So I was like, dude, I tried this boss fight like 15 times, and it was grueling.
I basically just chased him around, and I would like, if he got a little too far away, I would run the other way, and I started off using the first person, and then I was just like, nope, just gonna use the auto aim third person, and
Right.
that's all I did. I just
Oh.
chased him around and just did
be
that.
nice
and
to
was
have
able
rations.
do it. Yep. I did. Yeah, I went into here with 5 out of 5, so I wasn't worried. So we finally beat him, and
Oh my
then
god.
we get a cutscene, and he goes to shoot at you. He thinks
that
he's
part.
all sly with his right hand, and all of a sudden, his right hand hits the floor. That's right. A sword comes out of nowhere and cuts off Revolver Ocelot's right hand, and then it cuts all the wires around as well. It even cuts the poles. I don't know what kind of sword that is, by the way. That
Adamantium.
could cut straight through steel, but
Yeah.
it did. And some of it even sets off the bombs, unfortunately, which Revolver Ocelot somehow survives this and is able to get away.
So mad he did too.
But there's a figure. There's this camouflage figure that's in the room brandishing the sword now.
So badass.
And the figure stands up, and all of a sudden the camouflage comes off. And it's Ninja.
Stealth camouflage. Dude, this guy's so nasty. It's so good.
So this is Ninja. Ninja has made an appearance in the game. It's made his appearance, and they are terrified / stunned by whatever this is. For some reason, Revolver Ocelot's able to just walk away. But all right, I'm not gonna hold any punches here. We get a ridiculous fight scene between
It's an anime style fight. Scene.
Yeah.
Literally all
Like,
I thought of.
the
when I
most
watched it.
ridiculous cutscene fight between Ninja and Snake.
It was pretty cool.
It was cool, but at the same time, like, I was like, come on. Like, there's a part where the Ninja jumps into the air. and cuts the ceiling, like does like 6 swipes, and you're like, oh, like Ninja cut the ceiling. Like, what happened? And all of a sudden, this like giant piece of concrete falls.
And he moves so fast that
you can't see his hand. Kicks it upside down, by the way.
As he's falling.
Snake.
And Snake does a twirling flip.
Hey, at least he lands on his back.
Yeah, he does land on his back. Still manages to get up and dodge the sword, and even kick Ninja while he's coming at him. And then
you're the ninja, you just chop his fucking head off.
Yeah, because they end in like a Mexican standoff. Like the fight ends in a Mexican standoff. Ninja has the sword to Snake's throat, but Snake has a gun to Ninja's face. Why Snake didn't just pull the trigger and why Ninja just didn't cut, who knows? But they didn't, even though they did this.
Talking scene.
And
oh my god!
Ninja ends up running away. Ninja ends up running away immediately after, and
or so they think the dude has stealth fucking camouflage. How do you? You're way too like calm and collected. Just like, dude could be right next to them right now. Right. You don't know that.
Or on the ceiling like this.
Yeah. Just like doing the exact same thing Snake did earlier, just like in the corner of the room.
Exactly.
Oh god. So after Ninja leaves, supposedly, then we are left to deal with the remains of Kenneth Baker. And this is, I am not going to lie, a brutal talking
I almost fell asleep, to be honest with you.
This is the one that I was like, come on. All right, let's go. Let's go.
It's also like that funny thing because like this is like the last part that we needed to play.
Yeah.
But then the cutscenes like would not stop.
And
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you find out that Baker was working with the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, to develop a new Metal Gear on the what's called the black budget.
Mm-hmm.
Can't it just be a budget?
Why can't it be a white budget? For several years, those payments in the tens of thousands of dollars have been made to this dummy company, and that's how they got the money to run the Metal Gear project. He mentions that Merrill has the override keys that he needs. He basically he gives Snake a hint on where to find her codec frequency. He doesn't not where to find her.
That's my favorite part of this whole thing. Watch his freak out when he can't get the codec frequency. It's just like he looks so stupid. He throws like a little mini tantrum. It's the best thing ever. He's like, why?
Oh, sorry. I forgot. Damn. Oh, that's right. It should be on the back of the package. Try to contact her.
What? I was like, what is he doing?
God, Snake just loses his mind. But I love how dramatic they made it, like with him like leaning in and being like, what could it be? And then he loses his mind and like even points the gun at his head. I do want to say that Baker also tells him to find the team leader of the Metal Gear Rex project, and that is Hal Emmerich.
Yeah.
And Emmerich is a very important character that we're going to learn about later on.
You said annoying, right? Very annoying character.
Yeah, exactly. So, Snake is tasked with finding a way to contact Merrill, finding Dr. Emmerich, and stopping Metal Gear, as well as this group of weirdos that are from Shadow Moses.
It definitely gets like super preachy. Like,
it does.
In here, and I was like,
it does.
Oh god,
dude! I literally sat here watching this, listening to this, and I was just like this.
There we go.
Like, oh god.
Like when they go to like the live action footage, and they're like, "Oh, do you know how this happens?" And I'm like, "Did you guys just like film Chernobyl or something like that? Like what? Like Baker ends up giving Snake an optical disc that contains all the information for the Metal Gear project."
Which was so funny. He was like a typical old person who's like, "Here you go, take it. I know you're working for him." And he just thinks like, "No, I'm not really." He's like, "Yeah, okay, take it anyway." It's like, what are you talking about, dude?
This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise. Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. They don't know this disc exists. Make sure that you report this to Jim, to your boss.
The greatest old man response ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
know you're working with them. It's like, okay.
I gotta say, like, that this game has classic anime / Japanese conversations dialogue, and what I mean by that is a character will mention something, and the other character, I guess to make sure the audience didn't miss it, will say what was mentioned.
Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja?
Like,
Yeah, the fucking guy with a sword that just jumped around here. That you were like, "Oh, that dude," you know.
I should say that when that conversation ends, President Kenneth Baker has like a similar heart attack as a similar and almost just as long heart attack to Donald Anderson.
Bowel movements all around, baby.
To which Snake just kind of stands there and doesn't understand what's going on. Again, just watches the dude like die in agony.
It can't be those Pentagon bastards. So they actually went and did it. Ugh.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for
and does his like pivotal turn before talking to his commander. I do want to talk to you guys about that. Like, what do you think of the cutscenes? Like, and the amount of cutscenes? Because like this is a Kojima staple.
Yeah.
Kojima puts a lot of story, almost to the point where you may find some of it unnecessary.
I think the cutscenes are cool, but like the one where when he's climbing through the vent, right? And you have the one vent and he stops at it, right? Cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. Vent, cutscene. And I'm like, dude, okay, that was just like oh my god. Like it's like you could make a mini movie off of this shit. Cuz there's just so many. But it helps with the story, I guess. So
I like the story aspect of it. It's just I'm pretty sure there's more cutscene than there is actual gameplay in that first segment that we did, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, I mean, it's.
But let's talk about that because we reached the end of where we needed to play to.
Yeah.
Guys, what did you like? How long did it take you? I should say.
I can't remember because it took me a while to set up my shit. I think it was probably hour and a half, maybe hour 45.
So it took me like 2 hours. Yeah, like 2 hours for me. Devon, how much for you? Like,
because I died so much and had to redo everything, I'd probably say 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit like that.
And that's what I want to say is out of that time, like how much time do you think you were actually playing, and how much time do you?
Well, that right there just shows that was more than 12 minutes of.
Yeah, I recorded the cutscene and that cutscene before that cutscene because that cutscene, that 12-minute part that I recorded didn't include the fight between Ninja and whatnot. So like that whole thing, that whole cutscene is even longer. So
wild.
Even if it's 20 minutes, That's a 20-minute cutscene.
Right.
That right
Yeah, I
there. It's
know.
like- that's an episode of like a half-hour episode of something with no commercials. You know, it's like
Right.
Whew.
Oh my god.
my issue is like if I guess you have to play this game without having to have any responsibility going on. Like you don't have to leave soon or like to like go to bed.
Right.
Because you can't save it in between. You gotta wait till the fucking end.
Yep. And you can't save it in between cutscenes. You can save during the game, but that's the thing. The other thing, you can't quit.
Yeah.
Like, if you save, like, the game's expecting you. You're either saving your progress or you're shutting it off. Like,
Right.
That's the only reason you stop playing.
That was weird at the end too. I was like, how do I quit? And I was like, I think I just turned it off. I was like, it's like, oh, okay. It's weird.
Are you guys enjoying it so far?
I am enjoying it. Through all the headaches and everything, I'm actually enjoying the story. And even like, once you like figure out how to get past like whatever like you're doing, like the guards and the sequence to do it. And there's different ways that you can do it, right? Everyone has a different way of doing it. So like once you do it, you're just like, all right, well that was good. I like that. That was easy. It makes it more enjoyable when you figure it out.
I'm liking it.
Having to figure that out.
I'm liking it. I think at first I was a little worried with like the controls and everything. I was like, oh fuck, like this is a nostalgia trap. Like I was like, oh no, it's gonna totally ruin my experience. But after I would say about a good 20 minutes to half hour, I was feeling fairly comfortable, and I was having fun going around. I just want more gameplay than cutscenes at this point. And I remember some of the stuff from when I had played it long ago, and it gets me excited to keep playing to get to those parts. So
I will say that I think it's going to be better going forward just because I finally grasp all the controls. I understand how it's playing.
Yeah.
It is an older game, so it's getting used to all that. And I think going to the next part, it's going to be a much better experience than when I had just started this off.
Right.
Without understanding exactly how it needed to be played, especially because I hadn't played it in a while, just long enough where I remember quite a few things.
Right.
So that's the end of this part.
Yeah.
We made it to the end. Guys, I'm going to let you know the next part we need to play to.
Hit me with it.
All right. The next part is you need to get the level 4 key card.
Ooh, level 4 key card.
All right. When you get the level 4 key card, you will know that you have made it. And trust me, you will know when you have gotten the level 4 key card.
Okay.
Oh,
And I'm letting you guys know that because I'm also letting anyone listening or watching this video know that as well. Because if you want to join us, feel free to play along with us. And you can join our Discord, Black and White Gaming. If you're on the YouTube channel, the link will be in the description. You can also reach out to us at blkwhtgaming@gmail.com, where if you want to ask us any questions through there, feel free. But definitely check us out. It's also BLKWHT Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. So if you're on there, we're going to put the link to Discord in there. We're going to put the link to... We'll always put the link to the episode out there as well. And like I said, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud.
Follow us on Twitch.
Follow us on Twitch. We're on there as well. And yeah, it's gonna be good on iTunes as well. That's what I wanted to say. iTunes, if you are a iTunes fan. So that is the first episode of Black and White Gaming's Game Club.
Woo.
The BWG Game Club has begun, and we know where we need to be for next week.
I'm
I
actually
want to let you know that these episodes will always come out on a Sunday. So stay tuned for the next one, and thank you all for joining us. I'm here with Devon,
Yo.
John,
Woohoo.
and I'm Pete, and it's been great. Until next time.